Dana White just held another one of his traditional breaking news streams, dropping matchups that now have official status. The most interesting of these include Duplessis versus CHIMAEV on UFC 319, MAKHACHEV versus JDM for the welterweight strap with no date yet, and Oliveira versus Topuria for the vacant lightweight title on International Fight Week.
MAKHACHEV is going to move up to the welterweight division to face Jack Della Maddalena. What do we all love about Islam? If he had moved up to fight Bilal, he was a 5-1 favorite. Moving up to fight Jack, the odds makers have this fight at even. This guy is a beast. Islam is the fucking best. Jack, obviously, coming off fight of the night performance, beating Bilal, winning the title. He didn't take any major damage in that fight, so he's accepted the fight. I'll let you guys know when I pick a time and date, but this fight is definitely happening. Now, UFC 317 International Fight Week, June 28th from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. You all know ILIA Topuria, undefeated, 16-0, vacated his featherweight title. And he will face former lightweight champion and number 2 ranked Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title. Now, UFC 319. We're returning to the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, August 16th for the first time in 6 years. In the main event, the middleweight champion, Dricus Duplessis, will defend his belt against Khamzat Chimaev.
Josh Thompson reacts to JDM versus MAKHACHEV and assesses the Aussie's anti-grappling skills, analyzing how it would hold up against Islam. His affiliation with Team Khabib is no secret to anyone, so this isn't the most unbiased commentary one can get. But Josh made certain points that hold up against scrutiny. While Jack showcased his ability to effectively nullify Muhammad's offensive wrestling, there is a major skill difference between himself and MAKHACHEV, who uses his grappling from a vastly dissimilar technical approach, with a heavy focus on manipulating the upper body and sweeping his opponents to the ground, where it's then an entirely different game and people have a tough time standing up. Thompson discusses how Islam's skills can get translated to welterweight in a fight against the new champion. The lightweight champion's size and natural weight also allow for a relatively smooth transition between the two weight classes, and Josh likes his friend's chances of conquering another division.
JDM showed me a lot over this weekend, but what he showed me is how to stop takedowns against the fence. What he showed me is how to stop takedowns where the guy drops down on the legs and tries to lift and scoop. That's not what Islam's gonna do. Everything's gonna be from the upper body position. There might be a couple single legs where he snatches, and like kind of what he did with Dustin Poirier, grabbed the ankle and snapped him around. There might be some things like that out of the scramble or into the double, into the single, into the double. But it's mainly gonna be a lot of upper body trips, foot sweeps and dumps. Yep, things that that take the least amount of energy. For him to go up to 170, this is not far-fetched. He walks around, like I said, probably about 190. He's going to be a little bit smaller on the 170 side, given that these guys are pretty damn big. But I honestly believe in the striking, I'm going to give it a little bit to JDM. I think the overall boxing part of it, yes. The kicking part is going to go to Islam. So that's where they kind of offset each other. I agree. But that fight's going to be a great fight, man. I'm really excited for him, for him to have the opportunity.
Sean Brady calls out Ian Garry after the new welterweight champion getting crowned following his win over Bilal. JDM set interesting trajectories to the division he occupies and the one below. MAKHACHEV will be challenging him for the belt next, and the lightweight division will have a vacant title fight. But there are guys in both divisions who have accumulated enough high-profile wins on their records that would normally grant them an opportunity to face the champion. Sarukian aside for now, as we take a look at welterweight in this case, Sean Brady is the prime example of this. There's also Shavkat, who was supposed to be ahead of everyone in this regard, but he's out with an injury. As for Brady, he seems to have a pretty good read on the most likely outcomes in matchmaking of the top 5 welterweights going forward, so he's not wasting time picking an opponent. Sean reacted to JDM's victory over Bilal and called out Ian Garry for his next Octagon outing.
I knew if Jack won that I'd be fighting again, which I've been saying since the Leon fight, which I'm fine with. And like you guys were just saying, me and Ian, you know, like I feel like people are very surprised I keep saying that. They're like, oh, why don't, like, you don't want the title shot? I'm like, of course I want the title shot, but there's still Shavkat there. There's Islam saying he's moving up. You have Kamaru and Buckley saying whoever wins that's getting a title shot. So we're all going to have to fight. I'm going to have to fight Ian Garry eventually. Why not just do it now and just get it out of the way if I'm as good as I think I am? I would fight Shavkat for the #1 contender, but he made a tweet with a surgeon next to him, so no one knows. He says he's coming back in October. That really means he's probably coming back the end of the year or even next year. So, yeah, me and Ian had a little interaction at the fight. He was at the end of the aisle. I was at the the beginning, and he was asking me what I thought from across the way, and I just went like this to him. I was like, me and you, that's what I think. I think me and you are going to have to fight now because I'm not we can't all wait around for a title shot.
Cory Sandhagen breaks down the rematch between MERAB and Sean O'Malley. The Sandman has once again found himself stuck at the top of the division with no clear path to a championship fight anytime soon. Unless MERAB destroys Sean and calls him out to stay active, Cory's gonna need to get through more guys to earn a shot. Maybe ideally, only one more. But the title fight between MERAB and Sean is coming up soon. And sitting on one win isn't the most comfortable position for a fighter looking to get another crack at the champion. But there is an important circumstance that can give him hope. The fact that there is no contender who's guaranteed to be next in line. Cory is the highest ranked bantamweight who MERAB hasn't beat. And with the lack of options, he might get lucky and just get it. O'Malley getting an immediate rematch reflected this general dynamic as well. Sandhagen shares thoughts on this, also breaking down the fight and Sean's chances with MERAB.
So I think O'Malley is going to get taken down a lot. Hopefully he learned how to stand up a lot better, because getting taken down is going to happen. When you're a long, lanky guy, it's really hard to stop people from getting underneath you.
Yep.
So it's not as much about defending the shot as much as it's about, hey, can I get up immediately? And if Sean does that a lot better, he'll I think do a lot better in the next fight. Sean's not really a point guy, so I mean, he's not just gonna score a bunch of nips and picks from the outside and then try to win that way. O'Malley's I try to put your lights out type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if he just continues to try to put MERAB's lights out, I think that that's just gonna weigh against him. I think that he needs to really control the pace of the fight and the scoring piece of the stand-up, so that if he does get taken down and he cuts hands and gets back up, he can start to engage and just be, do a lot better in that way. On MERAB's end, I think MERAB has to do the same shit and just do the exact same thing that he did and don't get knocked out.
Michael Bisping and Paul Felder joined DC's line of attack towards Alex Pereira, following the alleged hacking incident of his Twitter account. Negotiations between the former champion and UFC in regards to a rematch with MAKHACHEV haven't been going very well lately, especially for Alex. Contradictory statements have been coming out from the two fighters' camps about what's the delay on the rematch, and the explanation changes depending on who you ask. Magomed is the champion, and he doesn't need to fight Alex, so the whole situation is more impactful as it relates to Pereira's position in the UFC and his future. After a tweet on Alex's account in which he expressed dissatisfaction with UFC's handling of things and the subsequent removal of it, followed by him saying the account was actually hacked, the MMA community reacted in all sorts of ways to what took place. DC called Alex a liar and accused him of making up the whole hacking scenario. And now, other UFC talking heads are joining that narrative.
If you're hacked, usually it's going to be some craziness that's written on your page. It's not going to be, after what I just heard and I feel disrespected, I'm going to move on, this might be it for me. It's,
yeah,
right? Doesn't seem like that. You'd be like, oh, Dana White is this, and Hunter Campbell is this, and the UFC sucks, and it would be more aggressive.
Crypto scam.
There was probably a big dispute and disagreement over negotiating and all this kind of stuff, and you just happen to write this very well-written.
You nailed it. So the person that hacked his account just happened
looking
to
out, yeah.
Took this
know the situation, yeah.
to write a statement that falls in line with everything that's going on right now.
Yeah. It stinks. It stinks. I don't buy it.
What kind of man does that? If you got a problem, you tweet something and then delete it and say I was hacked. I've tweeted and deleted. Call me, I said on the Good Guy, Bad Guy show. Pereira might have tweeted something and then somebody called him and was like, yo, calm down, let's chill. I don't believe the hat thing, bro. It's too convenient. It was too specific to your point, Paul.